Thanks for the mug, Melanie. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Double. I have had a couple of requests to go over running the Boss IR-2 amp and cabinet simulator pedal in a DAW such as GarageBand. I think I'll use GarageBand because I have that here on the Mac. It's free. I think a lot of beginners, a lot of starting people just kind of use that to get their feet wet. If you know how to do it in your DAW, it of course will be very similar. What we're going to do is look at using the USB-C output of the IR-2 into the computer with a USB-C cable. And what you need as far as downloads to get yourself ready and to get your computer ready to do this. And then how I bring it up within GarageBand, the DAW that I'm using. DAW. Got a couple of requests about this. I want to go over it. And it's a very simple process. It's less convoluted than the last video. I'll put the link up here on how I do wet, dry, wet with this into my Focusrite. I love doing that. It sounds amazing. You can get, similar results going on here if you start bringing up different instances of the IR-2, but I'm just going to get it real basic, how to get a channel, stereo or mono going within your DAW. And we'll go over the downloads here from Boss. So if we go over first to the Boss website, Boss IR-2 software downloads, it'll bring you to this. I'll even leave the link below. It'll make it a little bit easier for you to find exactly what you need here. We're going to pick our operating system, whether you're Windows or Mac. You do need to install a driver. I'm using the IR-2 driver for Mac OS Sonoma 14X, so they're pretty updated here. I've even got new drivers for the GX100, yay! So I can finally use that on my Mac again. But here you want to pick your driver for your system. And then if you're going to use the IR-2 cabinet loader, then you're going to want to grab that software here for your system as well. So you click on it. It's like, let's say you're a Mac guy, you click on it right here, and it takes you to this page. And you have to go down here, agree, and then you'll click download file. And it will pop up over here. Here's the IR-2 Mac driver. You're going to have to unzip it, whatever manner you need. And then you'll see these files right here. And then you will click on USB driver 14 package right here. It will prompt you to install. And I've already done it, so I don't need to do this. But you're going to want to hit allow and then go through the process of agreeing to that. And then that'll all disappear and you'll have an uninstaller left, and you can move that folder to wherever you want in order to archive it for yourself. And then that way it'll be there. The next thing you're going to want to do is probably reboot the computer. I know after I did this, I had a little bit of trouble with GarageBand seeing the IR-2 properly. So I rebooted, probably something you should do more likely than not. And then when you're ready, pick your program. We'll go up here to new project and I'll select empty project right here, double click, and it will bring us to this page. We're going to go ahead and select mic or line audio. And you see right here, it's given me the option for all of these different inputs. And that's because right now I have GarageBand set up to record from my Focusrite. So if I were to take my USB-C cable that is going into my computer and plug it in here, now that I have the drivers installed, GarageBand is going to ask me if I would like to use this audio device, and you can now select use, and it becomes your input down here. It will automatically default to input 1 and 2. If you want to record a mono track, you just grab input 1. And now we say create. As you can see down here at the bottom, my IR-2 has been selected here within my software. So if I want to go back at any point and use my normal Focusrite, I have to go here to GarageBand, hit settings, and then I'll be given this window, to which we'll click over to audio MIDI. And you can see I want to go ahead and change this right now. I want my output to be going somewhere else so that this audio is actually being tracked in OBS properly. But my input device is going to stay IR-2. So I'm sending it, all my guitar signal is going into the IR-2 and then coming into GarageBand via the USB-C interface as labeled as such. So now we can come over here to our track. We're going to right click on it, and we're going to do a couple things to make this a little bit easier. We're going to hit configure track header after you right click on it. And I like to hit record enable. The reason we want to do that is if you start adding tracks and you want to play along to what you're recording and you come off of this track, you won't really be able to hear the IR-2, even if you have it set for input monitoring. So you hit the little record button, make sure it's flashing, and then you also can hit monitor on this same channel, and it's down here. And you can still go back and change it to mono by selecting this input right here. Instead of making it 2 circles, you just hit the 1 circle, and then when you hit 2 circles, it automatically is bringing up a stereo check. And you can see as I change through the sounds, it popped the signal and made the distortion hit that channel. So you can see I'm getting signal coffee. So now we have a single track that is stereo, left and right, and it is tracking from our guitar. I have my guitar plugged into a couple of effects, compression and distortion and stuff, my front end stuff. I have a compressor. I have a TC boost. So front end stuff is, of course, hitting the input. That's coming in USB-C. You can see right through here my signal is now controllable by my DAW. But it's also, we can come over here and just treat this like our amp. We can hit the volume, bring it up to the point where we want. We can change our channels. As described in the other video that I've done on this so far. So I can swap back and forth. Now I do have a pedal in the loop. I have the MVAVE Mini Universe plugged into the loop, just to show that whatever you have in the loop is also going to go through USB-C. For anything that we want that's going to be post gain within the IR-2. And then, of course, because we're using our favorite recording interface, we can come down to our plugins down here. This MVAVE makes noise. You hear that? So maybe you don't like that. Maybe you want to use your plug-in effects. You know, I love playing with this, but when I'm recording, I can't really use it. But I'm using it right now to just demo that my front end stuff and loop stuff is there, but it's a little noisy. So I want to turn it off, and I want either the ambience. I can control this ambience and get a little bit more, but let's say I want something else. I can come down here, and it defaults to a compressor. We can change this compressor to, let's say, a stereo delay. And I have a preset that I like, Dottie McDot. So now we can really add anything at that point. We have our stereo delay, we can bring in the channel EQ, or we can turn it on and make it something different. And then we can change our channel. So you get the idea. Anything that you would normally do to an input within GarageBand, you can treat this as an input and track some stuff, get a little loop going. You know, I'm not great at looping, but it's real easy to loop in GarageBand. Just activate your loop feature, that little guy right there, and then you can record. Turn the metronome off. easy. This is great. If you have installed the drivers and you're having some trouble, give a restart, okay? If you're still seeing your focus right, then you need to go into your GarageBand settings and make sure you bring up this section here. Go to your input device right down here and make sure it's IR-2. And now at any point, I can just kick back over. And I do believe that there are other DAWs that will allow you to see multiple input devices, but GarageBand is limited, and this is where we are here with the beginnings of diving into this. So hopefully you've been enjoying my breakdowns of what you can do individually with the IR-2. I think it's amazing. I know everybody's making videos going, this thing's brilliant, this is amazing, but these are the reasons why. You can just have the smallest little setup right here at your desk. You can do so much with this and a simple DAW, or going into the return of your amp, or going into your interface like I demonstrated. I like doing the wet, dry, wet thing. I like all of the options so far, and I love the sounds of the IR. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if it has helped you out, please consider giving a subscribe and a like. I would really appreciate it. All right, thank you guys for being here. Check out the other videos that I put up on the IR-2. It's amazing. All right, have a good time. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you next time.